Morning coffee. Which of these coffee brewing methods is gonna be the best? Is it gonna be the drip coffee maker, the French press, or the AeroPress? Well, make sure to watch all the way through until the end so that you can find out. This is definitely gonna be a video that you're gonna wanna like. Make sure to give a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe. So now we're gonna get brewing. Hi, welcome to Yvonne Meets Food, where I share my passion for making food, eating food, as well as traveling the world to discover and eat even more delicious food. Today we're going to be making coffee from 3 different popular coffee methods. The first is going to be a standard drip coffee maker that can be found in most American homes. This is going to be probably the easiest one. It's basically just set it and forget it. The second is going to be with the French press, also known as the Plunger method in many parts of the world. We're basically just going to add coffee grinds directly to the pot, add hot water to it. Third method is going to be with the AeroPress, which is super popular right now with coffee aficionados. This is super portable, it's very easy to use. The only differentiator between the AeroPress and these 2 other methods, the drip coffee maker and the French press, is that the AeroPress makes a single cup at a time. Everyone has their own preference for coffee, so we're basically going to be doing a taste test of all 3 of these to see what differentiates the flavor as well as the body of the coffee, and then afterwards you can decide which method you would like best. We're going to run through all the equipment as well as the ingredients we'll need. So of course, to make coffee, you're going to need coffee. So I've got coffee beans from Stumptown. This is their French roast. I've ground up a bunch that I already have here. This is kind of like a medium coarse grind. We're going to use a medium coarse grind across all 3 of these methods. Next, of course, we're going to need water. Water temperature is going to be key with the French press as well as the AeroPress. With the drip coffee maker, we're just gonna pour in cold water and the coffee maker will actually heat up the water for us. Then in terms of equipment, so we're gonna need each 3 of the coffee makers. So the drip coffee maker, the French press, as well as the AeroPress pieces. So for the AeroPress, make sure that you have the main chamber as well as the plunger, the funnel so that you don't get coffee grinds all over your counter, the stir. You can also use a chopstick too, which I like to use. And then if we really want to get particularly anal about water temperature for the AeroPress as well as the French press, you can use an instant read thermometer, which is what I've got here. And then of course, lastly, we're going to need the cups. So the cups are going to be what we'll pour the coffee into and do the taste. And for the AeroPress, we're actually going to push the coffee directly into the cup. So to make sure that this is a fair comparison, we're going to make about an 8-ounce glass or the equivalent of 1 cup of coffee with each of these 3 methods. For every 8 ounces, we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of coffee. So this spoon that comes with your AeroPress, it actually has a spoon measure that is the equivalent of 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons and then just add it directly to the filter that is on top of the drip coffee maker. Now we're going to add coffee to the back chamber here. So we're going to fill up the chamber until we reach the number 2. So now we just need to plug in the coffee maker, close the top lid, and then just hit the on button. So while this brews, I'm gonna set this contraption aside, and then we're gonna focus on the French press method. So for the French press coffee maker, we're just gonna take the plunger out and then put in about 2 tablespoons of coffee grinds. And then for the water, I've already measured out 1 cup of water. So in terms of the temperature, we're looking for something that is about 92 degrees Celsius, which is about 197, 198 Fahrenheit. So if we just check this, looks like it's about the right temperature. So got that pretty spot on. So we're gonna pour this directly into French press. And now we're gonna take a chopstick And then just kind of stir it in for just a bit, just to get the coffee grinds kind of dancing with the water. Okay, I think that's good. This is what it looks like. Now we're gonna add the plunger to the coffee press and make sure to press the plunger down just so that it's just right above where the water and the coffee are. So it's just like that. And now we're going to let it sit for about 4 minutes. So with the AeroPress, we have two different options for how we want to use it. So we can use the method that is described in the AeroPress guide. There's a main chamber. You would add the paper filter with the plastic filter on the bottom, add the coffee into the main chamber, and then use a plunger to basically push the coffee down directly into your cup like this. But instead, we're gonna use the inverted method instead, because that method seems to be the most popular version in terms of the richest brew, and we really want to maximize the flavor here. So instead of using it like this, we're actually gonna flip this over, and we're going to put the plunger side so that it's facing up, and then put the main chamber so that it's on top. So it's gonna look something like this. And then we're gonna add the coffee into this main chamber, but upside down. So I'm gonna take the same amount of coffee, 2 tablespoons, add it in. And then I've got my water, so I'm gonna do about half a cup of water at about 197 degrees Fahrenheit or 92 degrees Celsius. Just make sure this temperature is good. So I'm just gonna pour it directly into the chamber. Just a little bit, just to let the grounds bloom a little bit. I'm just gonna use my chopstick, kind of mix it up. Then we're gonna add in the rest of the water. Stir it about 20-30 times. Okay, and then we'll add the paper filter. I've already moistened it and placed it into the plastic filter. And we're gonna pop this on top and screw it in. Now we're gonna let this sit for about 40 seconds. So now we're going to carefully flip this inverted coffee press over into a cup. Ooh. And now we're gonna slowly press it down. You might hear a little bit of air come out from the pressure of the plunger, and that's okay, but just be really gentle when you're pushing it down so that you're not doing it too hard. See? Hear that? So I think that's it. And then to this coffee, we're gonna add about 1/2 cup of additional water. And there we got our AeroPress coffee. Now we can't forget about our French press coffee as well as our drip coffee. So to differentiate these three, this is gonna be the AeroPress coffee. This is going to be the French press coffee. So I'm just gonna push the French press plunger all the way down and then pour it into my Disney cup. So there goes that. Shut off this filter coffee maker and then pour the filter coffee into this cup. So just from close inspection, the filter coffee, when you put a spoon in it and just kind of take some of it and just let it slide down, it's very, very clear. The French press coffee is definitely a bit muddier in color. It's not as transparent as the filter coffee. And the AeroPress coffee definitely looks more filtered and more transparent the way the filter coffee did. But the texture for some reason feels thicker than the other two. So now we're gonna take a taste and compare all three of these. We're gonna go from my right to left. So here is the filtered coffee from the standard American coffee maker. It's very fruity. It smells quite rich. Beans are pretty darn good though, so I'm not gonna lie. It's very florally, it's very flavorful. It's really, really good. Now the French press. So the French press, if you smell both the filtered versus the French press, the French pressed coffee smells richer, almost like more chocolatey. It has kind of like this dark, almost charcoaly type roasty flavor. It's still quite cloudy, but you don't actually get any of that grit in this coffee mug. It's definitely richer than the filtered coffee. And then lastly, we're gonna try the AeroPress coffee. In terms of aroma, it probably smells more like the filtered coffee. Ooh. Now, this probably has the best of both of the worlds of the filtered coffee as well as the French press coffee. So I get those charcoaly, chocolatey, mocha-y type notes from the French press coffee in the AeroPress coffee, but it's also filtered, so it has that cleaner flavor the way that the filtered coffee does. Oh, and then at the very end, after I swallow, it tends to taste more florally. I'm gonna add just a splash of Oatly Oat Milk to each of these cups and then taste them again. Filtered coffee. It's really nice. Got that, it has that creamy, slightly sweet edge to it now with Oatly. Ooh. Now this French press coffee tends to taste even more chocolatey with the Oatly in it, or richer and a deeper flavor. AeroPress coffee is definitely my favorite of these three. It just has like the best of both worlds from the filtered drip coffee maker and the French press coffee maker. It's got those rich, chocolatey, charcoaly, mocha-y type notes, and it's also florally at the end, but then it's nice and filtered, so it has that clean flavor that just lingers in your mouth after you swallow that sip of coffee. Yummy. So I hope that this video has given you a sense of what to expect from these three different methods of coffee brewing. And while the AeroPress may be my personal favorite method, of course there are many other methods that exist outside of these three contraptions. And then if you have your preferred method, definitely stick with it, but also consider branching out to try other different methods just to expand your horizons. So thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and found it educational. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to hear in the comments below what your preferred method of coffee brewing is and why. Please subscribe for more food, more travel, and more cooking as I explore the world and explore different recipes in my own kitchen. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get immediate notifications for when I upload my next video. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!